And we're back. Another episode of Airball Podcast. Welcome, everyone.
Hello again.
Here we are. Another fine day.
Just us two this week, which is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, just us two this week, but that's all right. I think we'll be okay.
I think we will. It's just, I miss the chat that the lads bring.
Oh,
the last few weeks has been great. So we will, in our next episodes, we are trying to get more people on. We just couldn't have anyone to say yes this week. No, that's not it at all.
That's not it at all.
The wait list is just so long. We had to just take a day to think.
We are going to have to start doing some screenings, I think. And
we've had some shoddy people on.
Have we?
No, they've actually been great.
Everyone's been really good. But hey, guys, welcome back. Good to have you here. Lots to cover today.
Yeah, a lot to cover.
It's been a big weekend in the NBA.
Oh,
we have almost probably seen a finals preview,
which I've
a
enjoyed.
Western Conference final preview,
Also
which we'll probably
enjoyed.
dive into. We've had some extreme updates on the coronavirus. You know, so we are actually coming to you live from our isolated box. We can't leave here.
We can't leave here, so this is going to be a full-time 24-hour show. People get so sick of hearing from us if we were locked in here with 14 days.
Well, do you reckon we'd stay live the whole time?
I reckon we'd disagree.
You just have a
too
running.
much.
You just have a running camera.
Oh yeah, and by the end of it, we are actually fighting. We're getting these out of the way, and it's just like it's glove up because we're so angry at each other because we're doing 14 days.
Yeah, well, it would be good to see. It actually would be
I'm
good
paying
to see.
99 cents at the TAB, mate.
Yeah. Look, my player was back as well.
Yes,
For one game only.
Steph Curry back from injury for one game, and he played well. 22.
He did. Yeah, he did.
22 points. Filthy fadeaway three.
Oh, it's just Steph things.
Just Steph things. How did you think he played overall?
I was pretty happy with how he played. I mean, you can never expect too much. He's been away for how long now?
Yeah,
A wee while.
November.
A hand injury as well.
Shooting hand, offhand.
Offhand, I'm pretty sure.
Lefty.
Lefty. I think the one thing when you watch him play, though, how much he can influence the game.
Yeah.
Not necessarily taking over the game and being the go-to scorer, but how he attracts attention from the other defenders, gets other players open, and he was actually just having a lot of fun with all the team, and all the boys were having a really good time. So it's really good to see.
Which is actually it's
him. It sums him up as a player.
He's
right?
always played with so much joy, and I think that's why even if you haven't supported the Warriors for the last 5 years, despite the fact they've been kicking everyone's asses, it's good to watch because he just plays with that so much joy, and it's just love of the game. And as soon as he's back on the court, he changes the game so much. You can see why he was the first ever unanimous MVP.
Yeah.
And
look, I still stand by what I've said in previous podcasts. You know what? The Warriors will be a team to beat next year.
I just think next year could be slightly too soon.
Yeah.
So they've got a draft pick, right? A lottery draft pick.
Yes.
Yeah. They're going to be not at the bottom. They'll be close to the bottom. Where are they sitting right now in the
Bottom.
standings? Are they actually last in the Western Conference?
They are the bottom. They have got a horrendous record.
15-49. Wow.
Yeah, not great, but
Wow. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
That's a big fall too.
It is a big fall, but and I know it's probably just because I haven't seen them play together in so long. But bring Clay back, bring Steph back, bring Draymond. I mean, Draymond's there.
Yep.
Plus a rookie. Let's say they get the first pick and pick up LaMelo Ball, for example. But they don't really need him.
They wouldn't do that. But would they pick him up, trade him on?
I don't know. Or you get that big who's projected to go probably fit one or two.
What they are missing, and you've hit the nail on the head there, is a big. they're going to need a versatile big. He doesn't need to be a scorer. He's just there for presence.
What about Kevon Looney?
Well, that's the thing. He is there.
No, because he's bad, Dan. I was being facetious. He's bad at basketball.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't
Why?
like. Because every
Is it his shoulders?
What do you mean? Is it his
Like,
shoulders?
you know how he's almost like a mini Dwight Howard.
Yeah, but Dwight Howard at least had his shit together enough to like hold it together. I feel like Kevon Looney plays okay defense in the lane, can kind of fill up the space he needs to. But as soon as he gets the ball, like so let's say he gets a high post, right? As soon as you go, like, it sounds like me.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking. Are you channeling your inner Daine?
He just drops the pill. He just can't hold on to it. I can hold on to it. I just miss layups. That's the difference.
Can you?
Ish. Give me a break. I'm not getting paid to play basketball.
That's true. He's not getting paid. But like that's what I mean. You don't need him to score. But you do need him to catch the ball in the post and at least kind of be a threat. So yeah, okay. Point taken.
But no, I agree with you. I think is there enough there for them to be good next year?
Marquise
I'm not
Chris,
sure.
maybe again he's been around a wee while.
He has. I think he's just underperformed what everyone thought he'd be. Marquise Chris. I thought he was going to be great in the Suns.
God, I thought the Suns would just be good. Full stop.
They won. They just beat the best team in the league. That makes them, by default, the best team in the league. Am I right?
Well, in my logic, that is definitely how it works. 140 to 131.
Yeah, and
140.
Yeah, it's because
Bucks ain't playing defense.
Who's playing defense in that
No,
team? Giannis isn't playing, and Giannis. I mean, we'll get into that anyway.
What about this old small ball? Has it all unravelled? Is it all done?
For the Rockets today?
Yeah.
I mean, the Rockets did lose to the Magic. They got out-rebounded by 11, which isn't the worst they've been out-rebounded as a team, to be honest. But yeah, they did lose today, which it was. I mean, I've seen better games from the Rockets, to be honest. They got beaten by 20 as well.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We've dived in. Haven't even given a preview of what we're going to talk about. We're just going to be covering headlines.
We're covering headlines.
Anything that jumps
out
out
at us. We're going to dive into one or two things, but it was more around. I'm just so fizzed on the whole league at the moment. Like everyone's playing.
I can't wait for playoffs.
I know.
I am very excited for playoffs. I need to save those sick days.
Preach.
But hopefully, though, the offices might be shut down and have to work from home.
Sorry.
Got him.
Yeah, to be fair, like looking at the Houston Rockets today, mate, they did not play that well. I mean, you're going to get obvious performances out of James Harden and Russell Westbrook, who...
Yep. Well, they're just...
they combined for, 47, 15, 10... and 4 steals. Plus 9 turnovers. No, plus 14 turnovers. 15 turnovers. Holy shit, they can't hold on to the ball.
Yeah, not great.
Those, seeing the other day James Harden go for a quadruple double in Charlotte, which I guarantee will come up again in this podcast because it was
super hyped by the announcer. Well done.
Yeah, big ups to the
Charlotte
announcer for doing that. It just goes to show that with such a high usage rate, you're always going to get those. But is that that's winning basketball in the season? You know what? To be fair, they've just been beaten the 6th seed now, 39-24. You're winning games in the regular season. If you're turning that many balls over in the regular season,
what's it going to be like with playoffs when the pressure is up?
When actually people start playing defense, Kawhi gets off load management and starts playing defense on you.
You did not just say offload management. You do not say that about Kawhi Leonard.
Why?
Because he will not.
Forever on load management.
Forever on load management. Oh. He's maximising, mate.
Maximising career.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, damn.
So what do you think then about this coronavirus nonsense?
I don't think it'll kick off. That's such a shit way to bring that in.
I knew everyone will enjoy that.
The coronavirus nonsense.
Look, we touched on it last week. The memo that went out around you should not be handshaking fans. Fist bumps only.
Fist bumps only, yeah. Or these ones.
Oh, those ones?
That's the grab.
And now it's gone. Another memo's been issued out around teams may need to be ready to play in an empty stadium. So we'll still be live, but there'll be no fans.
Well, it's already happening in Italy. Italy's been absolutely just beaten up by this virus, and they've shut all borders, they've shut everything, and all of their sports, again, like football games, are going to continue to be played and empty stadiums. Now that's eerie.
Yeah, that's weird, wouldn't it?
It is.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Because is it the same with the rugby as well, like Six Nations as well?
I don't know if Six Nations has gone that far yet, but I do know that they've...
Look at us, cross-sport podcast.
Bill Simmons, eat your heart out.
Yeah, so I guess I can't see it. But I can actually... I can't imagine watching TV and just seeing empty seats.
But you wouldn't. Like, you don't... I think...
How would they film it?
The same way they already film it.
Right.
Like it's
So what,
the
do they
cameraman is still there. Just
Yeah, but it'll just be like...
one single camera.
Do you still have the...
Head
do you still have the in-house DJ?
No. You're
Someone
asking-
saying
you're
defense and like playing like the Breakers tune.
No, but I think the cool thing about it would be, I think you'd find a whole nother dimension of the game because you'd actually be able to hear them.
That would actually
That'd
be
be
the selling point, right? You
so
start putting
interesting.
closer mics to the court, actually hear them talking, calling the plays.
Yeah, I mean,
Hear
I,
the
th-
track.
I think
Actually, to be fair, that's a good spin on it.
you'd need to watch out though, because obviously teams have their whole playbooks, which other players and coaches can get their can read, but they can't like get their hands on the actual book or
Yep.
hear what they're calling. I think it'd be unfair to those teams playing if you could hear what being said in the timeouts and that sort of thing. Because imagine if it was like Clippers Lakers, for example.
They'll play music. They'll play.
They have to do something.
They'll play
right?
something. Yeah.
But I think it'd be interesting. Like they still say the best game ever played was that '92 Dream Team scrimmage behind closed doors, which they've only filmed on like 2 cameras, where Jordan like really like Magic passed the torch to them in that game, and they just went off. I would love that. I think it'd be cool.
Can you imagine that for playoffs though? Because realistically, that's probably when it's going to hit.
You're not wrong. I hadn't thought about that. I think what you'll find is it'll bring a whole other dimension to playoffs. Does it become more intense or less intense? I'm not even sure.
Well, all I can say, if it does come to playoffs, the Lakers won't be making it anywhere.
What? You reckon the crowd pulls them that hard?
Have you seen the news that came out following the Bucks game on Saturday with LeBron, when this supposed comment was made around fanless stadiums?
No.
Right. To quote,
The great. So it can't be wrong.
no. We play games without the fans? Nah, that's impossible. I ain't playing if I ain't got fans at the crowd. That's who I play for. LeBron James, the king.
Shit yarn. Bro, you're worth like X billion dollars. Don't get sick. You're paid to be healthy. And this is why I was I was impressed with CJ McCollum, who is he's not even an all-star, but like he's a top-ish tier player, coming out and being the first to go, no, I'm not going to be shaking hands or not even fist bumps, whatever he's doing. That's just putting yourself and your fans and your teammates at undue risk, in my opinion. That is irresponsible.
What, for just saying that and saying, well, I'm not playing if there's no fans?
Yeah,
in the
it's
game?
like, okay, so they've found every time they've seen coronavirus, it's gone, 1 person tested, 5 people tested positive, 10, 50, 100, 1,000, like it just goes and flies through. There's that one town in Russia that had 1 person, and now they're up to like 45 people and 2 people have died.
Of course it's Russia.
I mean, fair. Yeah.
I just find it very interesting of what impact this is going to have across lots of sports.
I think you'll find viewership goes up, which would be cool.
Well, it would be. I hope that
But
I hope that NBA platform can NBA Live can hold up,
Yeah.
because that's going to be the only way to watch it. That or through their local TV provider.
Yeah,
in the
or
States.
do then the guys like NBA.com and like the league passes go.
You put a special up. You 100% put a special up. Coronavirus special. Obviously, you can't say that. And
Coronavirus special.
you can't advertise that.
We know you're sick as fuck. Watch this.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Like,
You don't promote it as coronavirus because you get in trouble for that. But
It's just the same way.
it's a hot sale.
Halfway through the about 40 degrees centigrade. That's it's fever pitch. NBA.com. They already do like 50% off sale. I'm like, yeah, it's halfway through the season. Of course, give me 50% off.
Yeah, duh.
Obviously.
And then they go for a playoff special and it's like triple the price.
No. But I do think, though, like coming back to the very tenuous point we are trying to make, is I think if you go to the playoffs, you're right, when it happens, that could change the entire scope of how playoff games are played. Like you look back to the 2012 OKC Spurs series where the Spurs were up 2-0 and
Who got them back in the game? The fans.
the fans, like,
Yeah.
OKC is still one of the loudest fan bases, and that year they were absolute carnage how loud they were, and they brought that team back. Like, yes, KD hit massive shots and whatever, like, he brought them back, let's be honest. But
the fans play a role on that.
But then on the other side of things, I think in the OKC Miami series, the fans worked against them. They were so fever pitched. So if you go out of 100, you can't go above 100, obviously, but everyone always tries to.
Yep.
They were at 92% of just fucking hype for the Spurs series. They get to 99 in the Heat series.
They're full blown.
Yeah, like that's great that hypes the guys up. But if you're doing that from second one, those guys are gassed by the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
And those older veterans, the LeBrons, the Wades, the Bosches, the Joel Anthony's, I didn't do anything, but I tried to bring Joel Anthony up in our podcast.
Oh, well done. Tick.
Bingo! Got it.
That's what we should play. Bingo with the fans. Wouldn't that be quite funny?
Jeez, that's an interactive special. Maybe in the next round of shows.
Yeah, maybe.
But I think it worked against them. The fans are so hyped to have OKC in the finals against someone like LeBron.
Yep.
And that Miami Heat team who are about to be a dynasty.
Yep.
Probably knackered them out, and they were bad in fourth quarters.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook, I mean, he's still
bad in fourth quarters.
Still coughing the pillar, but like just turnovers. James Harden, turnovers.
Yeah.
And you put them on the same team.
Some things just never change.
Oh, I know.
The irony.
I still find I'm
The
still,
irony of
I
it
know.
all.
I'm still sad they got rid of that team though. They could have been genuinely great. I mean, no real bigs to speak of, but it is what it is.
Speaking of getting rid of people, now, and I don't agree with it, but the Brooklyn Nets have made an interesting move.
Oh, it's such a bad move.
Firing Kenny Atkinson, head coach from the Nets, with 20-ish games to go, if that.
You were just about to be relevant. You are 6 months from a relevant organization again, and like you're not working against anyone else in New York. You've got the New York market by the balls.
I love it when the media report it. They've mutually parted ways.
Like,
No.
Did he quit then?
No, he would have been told to leave. You either get fired or we mutually part ways.
Fair. Like,
That would be how it would work in the
But
NBA. I don't get it, but it doesn't make sense.
you're sub 20 games out from finishing the season. Cool. Go have a summer. And then you're relevant. You have Kevin Durant. You have Kyrie
Well, that's the
Irving.
thing. He hasn't even had the full team that he's supposed to coach from day dot. You
Like,
know, like
he's got a
Kyrie's been injured basically all season. Thanks a lot, fantasy. Dick. KD's out. He was never playing. He's been challenged.
DeAndre Jordan's
He's been
old.
challenged with DeAndre Jordan and the whole Jarrett Allen rotation. And to be fair, Jarrett Allen should be starting, and which is good that he has been.
You've got other young point guards who...
Spencer Dinwiddie.
Yeah, because Kyrie Irving's been out and you've got rid of D'Angelo Russell. Still not a good move in my opinion. Who are trying to sort of come through. And you've still managed to... Like, how many wins have they clocked up? Like, they've still gone all right.
They have.
They're still 7 seed. Like, they're still going to make the playoffs.
So you're basically causing all this disruption for a team. Right before playoffs, you can have a new coach. It will just be the assistant coach, won't it?
Side note, 29 and 34 in the East currently gets you 7 seed. That is dire straits.
I mean, look, if we look at his career, Kenny's career with Brooklyn, he's been there 4 years, or 4 seasons, 3 3/4 seasons then, if we're to be completely accurate.
Sorry, Kenny.
Not a great record.
You had no people.
118 wins, 190 losses. So
Yeah,
below 500. Not great.
Yeah, but
at the same time,
to be fair, still makes playoffs.
Same time, he's come in 2016 when all this hype around Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, trade everything. We'll just buy our team and we'll be awesome.
That must have been the year after, surely.
No, that was that year, I'm pretty sure. 2016, 2017, was it not?
They only won 20 games. No, they definitely won more games with that team because they went to the playoffs with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett team.
Really?
I'm sure they did.
Let's have a look.
And they got.
Let's have a look. Let's dive into that.
I see playoffs right there.
Well, I guess to be fair, it is the East. It's trash. Oh, show me the team.
There you go.
Where? Bear with us, team.
No, go. Technical difficulties. We need a bit of a screen record here because Dan's ballsing it.
Oh, yeah, we do, aren't I?
The playoff bracket was up. But I still think you're literally at the cusp of being relevant and in a good market, in a massive market, and you've got no competition because the Knicks are just so bad that, and then you just told you.
Told you.
Chase Buttinger was still in there. Like, come
Oh.
on. And Andrea
Bagbani?
Bargnani.
Yeah.
Man.
Was it 2015 then? Deron Williams. Joe Johnson.
Yeah. Where did that come from?
Joe Johnson.
You look at it, you know, they're just about to get,
Yeah, okay.
you know, they could be easily fourth seed next year with someone like Kevin Durant. Imagine, and we talked about it earlier, imagine if the Heat had got rid of Erik Spoelstra before LeBron, Wade, Bosch. Because they very easily could have done it.
They could have. Well, I think Pat Riley basically went to bat for him and said, we're not doing this. We're not getting rid of him. It'd be silly.
It makes your coaches better too.
And that's the thing. And what's that done? They've kept Erik Spoelstra and he's been a great coach ever since coaching that Miami team.
Yeah, so he's been a coach, since 2009.
Yeah.
He's been, he was not great. There were some pretty average Miami teams after, Mourning retired and Shaq left and whoever else was there at the time didn't want to play there anymore. Like, when Udonis Haslem was their second best player.
Mm-hmm. I'm just want to get up his record.
Look at that. I've got Udonis Haslem and Joel Anthony in one.
Well done.
But he knows the system. He knows the small things that you don't know when you come. You see, 08, 09.
Yeah, but see, look at that. Since 08, 09, and his records, 523 wins, 363 losses. That's
but what is
coach.
it in the last 3 years? Not great. They were only 500 2 years ago, and
41 and 41.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this year they're not. Yeah.
But you've just got rid of a guy who knows the ins and outs of the Brooklyn organization.
Yeah, not just the team, the whole organization.
All those young guys who have been working with him, like Caris LeVert,
and he's actually
Spencer
rebuilt that
Dinwiddie.
team, right?
Yes,
Especially last year when they had D'Lo.
Not single-handedly. He's had to do it twice.
Yeah.
They kind of got to a point and then they got rid of D'Lo, which again I
Don't
still
agree with.
think it's a dumb idea. But if you got Kyrie Irving coming in, Kyrie Irving is one of those guys that, despite how
Injury prone he is.
injury prone, and I don't know, he's just quite an aggravator and an agitator in any team,
Yes.
in any situation. He's got that X factor and he knows how to win a championship as the second guy. I just disagree with it. Who do you now bring in that's going to be able to seamlessly jump into that role with big names like Kevin Durant coming back and expecting the team to be run his way? Who do you bring in?
I think it would be. So who have we got? If we brainstorm, excuse me. If we brainstorm,
Jeff Van Gundy, bring him in.
Ty Lue?
Ty Lue has a way of coaching, which is he's got the sets
KD, you make the call.
Yeah, exactly.
LeBron, make the call.
The problem is I'm not sure KD's that guy.
No.
KD is, because he's just
Is Kyrie that
such
guy?
no, because he wasn't doing it either. I'll start on KD, the best scorer of the last 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what's the 25, 95?
The math kind
20
of
years.
kind of adds up.
Since 2000, I'll give him that. Best scorer since 2000.
Y2K.
Exactly. Why? Yes. He's not the guy you want called and plays for your whole team, because it's not the way.
Well, because you know what that is. It's just a
ISO,
shot.
get out of my way.
Get out of my way. Let me score.
That's what the Thunder should have done in 2012, and they would have won. Simple as that. Don't give the ball to Russell Westbrook. But then you got someone like Kyrie Irving, who almost, when he's calling plays and is the guy that's made to call plays, tries to do too much with it.
Yes.
So for me, Ty Lue wouldn't work there because he hasn't really got the nah, fuck up and do it my way. Like,
yeah, he's. I don't think he's big enough to say, hey,
yeah. Whereas someone I think
pull stars back into line.
Yeah, but then like someone like Jeff Van Gundy's had to do that before. Like, okay, it's been a long time since that.
Does he want to get back in the? Do you reckon he wants to get back in the ring?
I honestly don't know. I think he's the worst of the Van Gundy brothers coaching, to be honest.
Mark Jackson,
right in the same situation. Give it to Mark Jackson because just as the Warriors got relevant, they're like, later, ball.
Later, Mark.
See,
thank you.
Same thing, but I mean, that kind of defeats our whole conversation. That
well, I guess there's always cases on both sides. Right now, at this point, maybe get rid of him in the summer for sure.
Yeah, like if he's not going to gel with how the team's going.
I don't know. I feel like, again, there's probably some things that have happened behind closed doors. Conversations, unfortunately, we are not privy to.
Yeah, or have they spun it and he's like, you guys are trash. You've got Kyrie Irving here who thinks he's the man it isn't, and KD is going to just come and shoot 100 shots a game and we're not going to get anywhere.
And you want DeAndre Jordan starting. He's not a starting centre power forward anymore.
You don't reckon?
No.
You think Jarrett Allen's better than him?
Yep. Right now, yeah, 100%.
Right now, you think he's better? I think longer term, obviously, there's more upside. Yeah, right. I don't know. I've just got this thing about DeAndre Jordan. I miss Lob City.
I knew exactly where you were going to go with that. You're just remembering,
like when the Clippers were bad.
CP3.
But shit, they were good to watch.
High Griffinition.
The Blake Show.
That was a good team to watch. They were exciting to watch.
Yeah, but they shat the bed in playoffs every year.
Oh yeah.
Blake Griffin has broken my heart more than I'd like to know. More than I'd like to say.
Well, now that you've brought it up, how many times?
Every year in fantasy since like 2013. It's like Blake Griffin's going for an MVP year. Oh, he's torn his quad. It's okay. He's back. He's punched a trainer and broken his hand. Mint, Blake. Like, thanks.
Typical Blake move.
They cooked it with that team. Remember, they had a young Eric Bledsoe. They had Jamal Crawford. They had JJ Redick. They had those three.
Doc Rivers, eh?
They had Caron.
Doc Rivers has been there for a while.
Butler. They had Doc Rivers as a coach. How did they not get through that? It was before the Warriors were at their strongest.
So who was it then? I'm trying to remember.
Spurs. When the Spurs, it was those Spurs years when
they were good years to watch.
Like rookie Kawhi. Like, go back and look at rookie Kawhi and how much worse he is than he is now. Like, everyone just goes, "Oh, Kawhi's always been amazing."
No,
nope.
he wasn't.
He was long. He could defend. You gave him the ball, and his hands were just too big and not to do with it. It was
Kevin Looney with trying to catch the ball, trying to catch the ball. At the
but
high
like
post.
that series, that first year that they came up short against the Heat.
Yeah,
he defended LeBron well. That's kind of all he did, super duper well. But
that's what he was. He was just a defender.
Yeah,
that's what he was put on there for.
Exactly right. And you've probably got Tim Duncan, who was towards the end of his career. But Tony Parker, arguably that's Tony Parker's best year and his best playoff. He was averaging like 24 and 14 assists every game.
Now, I don't want to bring any hot gossip in, but was this the year he had left Eva Longoria? I was with Eva Longoria.
New idea with Dan Wehner. I have no idea. But
all I remember is him every game, they'd zoom in on it.
Yeah.
I think Desperate Housewives was a big thing back then.
Well, I like, there's this one really iconic shot of Tony Parker at the line in the finals against Miami shooting free throws, and someone's got like an Eva Longoria pin up behind the backboard just to be like, you fucked up.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Such a blowout. But the boy was so good. I keep hitting this mic. But he was good. And then you had Manu Ginobili coming off bench.
Now, that's a guy who's come on home, hasn't he?
Yeah, that man has embraced balding. And, having seen Shaq last week, reveal his true hairline, you just wish that all guys had that
confidence.
They had the confidence in themselves to just to get rid of it. Like, if I was to do it, onto like. This is why we have to have guests, because we fall off topic real quick.
No, but it's good because we do get eventually back on topic.
Get into hairlines, but I mean, hey, back to where we were around the Nets. I think it was an average move. I hope that there's something better in the pipeline and there's someone there going.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who goes there, because it will be a big. They're almost walking into it's almost a 1 year. It will be a 1 year, a little bit. You're going to have 1 year. if you can't do it, we're on to the next one.
Pretty much. Well, you've got a lot of talent. You know what I mean? I think
get
like
into gel.
they've almost gone too well this year to get 7th seed, and they're going to get the crap beaten out of them in any playoff series. I don't care who it is. I think even if I bring up the current standings and they're 7th, I back any team in there. The Magic would nearly sweep them.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I disagree.
you don't think the Nets could beat? You don't think the Magic could beat the Nets?
I've always liked the Nets. I don't know why.
I think they're cool. I just think
like how
they're so close to relevant.
Yeah, they just haven't quite cracked it, you know. So okay, just a little fun fact. Apparently, Lance Stevenson was in talks with Indiana. Would you like to see it?
No.
Cool. Moving on.
I hope he gets coronavirus. No, I don't. I don't wish it upon anybody, but Lance Stevenson, you're the first on my list.
Oh wow, easy. Okay, well, look, we touched on it at the start, and we did get a little. We got a little preview this weekend with the possible final with the Bucks.
Oh
Lakers
yeah, Saturday. That
on
was a
Saturday.
good game.
And then we had almost the Western Conference Finals game this morning.
That was nice.
With LA Clippers, or the Battle of LA.
The Battle of LA. I mean, shall we start with the Bucks here? The Bucks game.
Yeah, let's start with the Bucks game.
I watched that start to finish, and it was such an interesting game from a tactics point of view, and where these teams were just like, right, I'm going to use my strength to then eliminate some of your strength, and it was literally Giannis crushed them in the first quarter. I think at one point the Bucks were 13-2 up.
But do you think they're happy? Do you think from a tactics view, the Lakers are happy for him to score? They don't mind. Let's live out everyone else, because that really. Do you know? It's almost like what teams are trying to do with the Rockets now.
I think
who cares if Russell Westbrook scores 40? As long as we slow everyone else down, we should be okay.
Yeah, take your medicine. I don't know. Like, I think what you don't want is those other guys heating up, so that's a fair point. I think the Lakers had quite an interesting take on it, which was he's going to punish you straight up. He is athletically he's the best athlete in the league
100%.
by head and shoulders.
Yep.
Right now. And Giannis came out and he took it to the Lakers. Within like 4 minutes, both JaVale McGee and Anthony Davis were on 2 fouls each. Because he just took it to them. What you got to remember is then...
Yeah, but sorry.
So you go.
No, I was just thinking, because looking at that game, and I remember when we were just watching the highlights before, LeBron really wasn't marking him until sort of the second half. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but LeBron was doing... yeah, exactly. LeBron was doing other stuff, but yes.
That's what I mean.
One-on-one, no. Because what they were doing was pushing the ball up. The Lakers didn't have a guard who was willing to step up and put their body on the line to defend him early. So by the time he hits the 3-point line, he's got a full head of steam. And it doesn't matter who's in his way. They're always going to call a blocking foul because you should. Unless it's like obvious, you've got to call something. You can't no-call when two of the biggest bodies in the NBA hit each other.
Yeah, well, there's the classic one, right, with Anthony Davis and Giannis.
And I was especially disappointed in KCP, who there was probably 2 or 3 times he could have taken a charge. Put your body on the line against someone like that. Stop him doing it. Eventually, yes, they got to a point where they could defend Giannis, and they sort of made this wall thing, and guys like Quinn Cook stepped up and were picking him up early, and LeBron picked him up early. And even if he got blown past,
but that's almost just the key thing in basketball. That's just almost some bad transition D from the Lakers, right? Not picking the ball up early.
Agree. The problem is transition's everything with Giannis because he's 4 steps and he's half the court.
Yeah,
and I think that's the difference. What I enjoyed was it really got to the end, and we talked about. And I know you got really strong views around Giannis not being able to close games, which is
he can't.
Clearly, no elaboration needed.
No, just look at it.
But yeah, I'm of the same opinion as you, right? But my only sort of rebuttal to that is he's actually unfit to play 48 minutes. He's playing on an average of 28 to 34 minutes a game. But it's because they've been blowing people out.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they've got the best points differential, I think, in the NBA. Or they did.
Yeah.
Probably until Saturday. But they had the best points differential because they're just blowing teams out by 30, 40 points. So he doesn't need to play those minutes. So that actually makes sense.
Yeah, and you looked at it, and he was I think the commentators actually brought it up when I was watching on Saturday, and he was at about 33 minutes, and he was at the free throw line, or just before the free throw line.
Are you talking about on
Saturday?
Oh yes, yeah.
On Saturday,
he looked puffed.
He looked gassed, and you look at him. He's there, hands on knees on the halfway line, just trying to get his breath back. Meanwhile, you've got #WashedKing year 17 who's just like jumping around doing what he needs to do because he's used to playing 40 minutes a game or 46 minutes a game. And I think
and this isn't, I mean, it was a playoff intensity game, to be fair.
Yeah.
But imagine doing that for 4 rounds.
Yeah.
4 rounds. Imagine a couple of them will probably go to 7 with the Bucks because I can't see them consistently actually blowing out.
Well, like
teams.
I mean, obviously Giannis was out in the last game against the Suns, which they lost. But it's something like you've now got to. What do? Do you keep because he's a bit injured? Do you just drip feed him until the playoffs now, or do you, when he gets better, run him in there for 44 minutes a game to get his motor up?
No, because you're just going to tire him out, and you're probably going to risk injury with that. It's too late.
I know.
It's too late to be doing that.
I struggle with it. And, I mean, you come up in the first round against, let's say, the Magic. They're not sweeping the Magic.
They'll have to look at his minutes and how he plays. Might have to take more out of the middle. And if he's going to be playing to, like, those final minutes, they're going to have to take minutes out of the second, out of the third.
But then they're going to have to put runs on those big teams.
Early,
because some of those teams won't go away. The Celtics won't go away.
No. All those, they'll just keep pestering. And that's the thing, because back to why I don't think he can't close, he hasn't had to close because they have been blowing teams out.
He can't shoot, which doesn't help.
No, he did have a nice little fader on LeBron, though.
I didn't see that one.
Did you not? It was a little post-up move.
Maybe I just missed it on purpose.
It was nice. I was like,
I'm pretty one-eyed.
I think it was it was in the last couple of minutes, actually. It was very nice. I was
but he was gassed, and then meanwhile, like, Giannis goes to 35 MVP. Yeah, okay, LeBron's gone for 37, and he's year 17. Like, again, super one-eyed, but he wasn't. He still gave a post-game interview, worked hard but not super hard. Athletes, baby. And that's why
LeBron's just so relaxed.
And
I do like him from that view.
It's knowing when to use your energy. I think that's the big difference. You can be the fittest guy on there, but if you're using your energy every trip up the floor doing everything, like Giannis is doing, you can only play 33 minutes a game. So maybe if you're not if you don't take him out, if you're making him play 40 minutes a game, teach him or show him he doesn't have to do everything. Don't run the ball through him for a couple of possessions.
I would love to not see them get out of the East.
Me too. I don't see it at the moment. I know that they're 53 and 11.
I would rather see the Raptors play the Lakers than the Bucks.
I think the Celtics will surprise you.
I would like to see that. Even the Celtics Lakers, actually, if that was...
Imagine that, the year that Kobe passes away, for that to become the series again. Oh,
that would be good. So, okay. Well, shall we move on then? So, either way, Bucks, no chance.
No chance is pretty strong. I struggle with them. Like today,
There's a lot. I think they've got a lot of work to do.
They do have a lot of work
for
to
a
do.
7-game series against the Lakers. It's hard.
Well, even look today, like Chris Middleton had to blow up today. And to be fair, he did. He went for, what did Chris Middleton go for? He went 39 points and they still lost. Damn. But like they're giving trash like Ersan Ilyasova. Why is that guy still getting minutes? He played 15 and a half minutes. He got 0 points.
How many shots?
No, he didn't take any shots. He did nothing. He got 7 rebounds. Wow. 7 rebounds and a turnover for a plus-minus of -8.
Fantastic. Well, they did lose.
You know, and like Dante Da Vinci is like, who are you? Like, you're a 2K AI. You're made up. And you played 28 minutes. You got 16 points.
Oh, he's an up-and-coming star, I guess. Okay, LA Clippers, the game today, Battle of LA.
Battle of LA.
So when people ask, who's winning the NBA? Oh, LA? Yeah, LA who? Make a decision.
Just someone in the greater Los Angeles area, based at the Staples Center.
Yeah, I'm...
How did you feel about the game?
Oh, look, good on Lakers getting up. Again, good win. I think they've been prepping for this weekend because they would have seen the schedule. Like, right, here we go, guys. This is our weekend to make a statement, which they have, winning both those games. I think that's the Western Conference Finals. I think that's going to be such a good series, and I can see it going to 7. I think the Clippers still have so many parts and so many players that they still just quite haven't figured out how they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, they've got so many pieces.
It's like, are you too deep?
I almost just think you've got I could see them beating the Lakers.
No doubt.
But it's just I don't think they've too many rotations. Same as the Lakers, actually. They've got way too many rotation options. Haven't figured out what those rotation options are.
Or have they just not shown us yet? Because they don't need to.
Well, that's the other thing. They don't need to.
Because
And that's the cool thing about the playoffs, and you get these 7-game series, and you're like, oh, that's new. Haven't seen that before, but you know they've been working on it.
Exactly. Like, I mean, you look at it, and even if the Clippers, which they will, get second in the West, are going to come up against the Mavs, don't think the Mavs are going to give them much of a run around.
Oh, maybe
You just put Paul George on Luka Doncic and like, hey, touch him for the next 7 games. Just don't take your hand off him. And then your bigs, like, I know Damari Carroll. I've just flaked on his name. What's their big?
Porzingis?
No. Yes, him. Montrezl Harrell. Sorry.
Sorry.
The big for the Clippers. He's only 6'8", but he plays like he's like 7 foot, and he's like 100 kilos more than Porzingis.
Plays a little bit like Draymond, really, wouldn't you say? Just acts a lot bigger than his size.
Yeah, but he's
but can
bigger
score.
and better than Draymond. Doesn't do it. No, actually, I lie. He doesn't do as much as Draymond. He does the traditional things a 7-footer should do in a 6'8" body, whereas Draymond does the things that anyone from 6'2" to 7 foot can do, but he's in a 6'8" body.
Yeah. Well summed up.
Yeah, but like at an okay, like 70%.
Yeah, I mean, Clippers, yeah, I kind of would like to see them beat LA just because you support LA. Well, actually, you don't really support the Lakers. You just support LeBron, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
It counts. I reckon it counts.
It's borderline.
Well,
what do you...
for life, son. I'm joking.
No, you're not.
He's 100%. I love watching LeBron play basketball.
So, but then, yeah, you watch LeBron play, and the attention he attracts on the court.
Yeah, and like,
and then
exactly
the fact is, it's not
just
just LeBron. It's then watching when Anthony Davis is cutting, and you've got your shooters now.
Yeah, like
it's kind of like, oh, man.
And Danny Green hasn't played well since November. Like, just remember the fact that Danny Green nearly single-handedly beat the Heat in 2013.
How good!
When they went back to back, Danny Green and Gary Neal. Now that's bingo. I've just brought up Gary Neal as well.
You've done well.
Like, Danny Green and Gary Neal nearly buried the Heat team. I remember being in Sydney watching at this random bar, being like, oh my God, we're going to lose to these Muppets.
Like, they're not Muppets, like great shooters.
Like Gary Neal, you went to Towson. It doesn't even count.
Ouch.
I don't know. I stand by it.
Oh, yeah.
I do. But, like, Danny Green hasn't played good since November, and he'll turn up. He knows how to turn up for playoffs. He's been in enough playoff teams. You've got, I mean, as much as it pains me, Jared Dudley can still kind of play and can be an okay role player. I know he won't, but if you need him to, if Danny Green and KCP get hurt, he can still fill up a minute.
We've actually just missed a very key announcement.
What?
Dion Waiters. Give me your 2 cents on that.
Give me my 2 cents on Dion Waiters joining the...
I just feel, my only comment is,
more shooting. That's all they need is more shooting.
JR, here for you, mate.
Yeah, like, I don't think LeBron ever forgave him for the game line. Like, that way, please, that way.
Yeah.
Dion Waiters, I think he's much like J.R. Smith, and him and LeBron have played together before, so let's not forget that. If anyone can bring guys like that into line, it's LeBron. It's LeBron, but it's also an organization like the Lakers. Yep. It's like, you want to play it all? Cool. This is how we play. Stay in your box. You get out of it. You don't get minutes. Peace.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Will he be all right? I don't know. Like, honestly, I haven't seen him play in so long.
I don't think anyone has.
The thing with Dion Waiters, he'll go for 35, but look like he's been sitting in like Burger King for the last 3 weeks. The boy's like, he always looks overweight, but he's like, he plays. He just doesn't have that prototypical like body, if you know what I mean.
Doesn't look athletic.
No,
but can just gets buckets.
We just lights you up. And
speaking of buckets, there was only one player. Didn't need to do anything else in the game. Did you see that? His name's escaped me. I was hoping you'd get it. He literally just went, is it Terrence Ross?
Oh, Terrence Ross.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
he's all he is 35.
35 points.
Buckets.
0 assists.
0 rebounds.
0 rebounds.
0 everything else. Oh, that is just...
That's that Mamba mentality.
It's absolute gun.
Don't pass the ball. It's like...
Or just don't do anything else but just score.
Man. That's like young Kobe. I like that. Terrence Ross to me is one of those guys that I thought was going to be so much better than he actually is.
Yeah.
I really thought there was him. I thought he was going to be a lot better. Thomas Robinson, throwback.
Yep. My goodness, where is the bingo sheet?
I know.
Everyone get your...
Thomas Robinson, when he went to Sacramento with the 5th pick in that 2013 or 14 draft, I was like, he's going to be really good. He's like an undercard like Damian Lillard going at 6 was. Trash. Went to Portland, was bad there. Doesn't play.
Yep.
Nerlens Noel, I think he was much the same.
Ugh.
Just didn't go as well as he... Exactly. Didn't go as well as I thought he was going to. So
What about Anthony Bennett?
Jeez, I'm not going into that.
That's bingo.
We're now going into like actual busts. So let's talk about Greg Oden, and let's talk about
let's talk about
what's his name.
Talking about busts is so depressing.
No, what's Darko Milicic, 2003, going above Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh.
Oh, did he really?
Andrea Bargnani going first overall.
Oh, I liked him though.
No,
Biggest
Dan.
busts. What?
No.
Really?
Biggest
Great
bust
shooter.
in the NBA. I'm not going to go through the same
I
list.
love this. Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown, shithouse. Sam Bowie, shithouse. Michael Olaquo. Like, who are you? You're
1998.
He's massive, though, to be fair.
Is he?
It's all the big guys. It never goes good for the big guys.
No, it doesn't. Especially with a small man league.
I know. Joe Barry. Oh, Joe.
That's
See,
too old.
yeah, we're not going to dive into it. We haven't got enough time for it. Let's go. Next episode, let's dive into busts. I think it'll be fun.
Okay.
Right.
Mamba plays. We've kicked off a bit of time. We've done well for two of us.
I know. Our Mamba Plays of the Week. Can I give the Player of the Week
Yes, you can.
to the Mamba Player of the Week? Because this is Mamba mentality.
Yes.
Not just going for a foul, but going for an actual defensive play. Chris Paul, Dennis Schroeder against the Clippers. Kemba Walker, of all people, who can handle the ball. Down by 1 or 2. 28 seconds to go or 20 seconds to go. Inbound, Kemba gets the ball behind half court. Chris Paul is all over him like white on rice. And then really tactical double team. Dennis Schroeder gets the steal, layup for the win. That is one of the best plays I've seen this entire season because it's not just a buzzer beater fadeaway 3 or the biggest yam you've seen in your life.
It was over the Celtics, yeah?
Over the Celtics today. And Kemba Walker playing quite well. And after Steven Adams Steven Adams looked like he was trying to throw the game away for the last 2 minutes as well.
Did he?
Missed like 3 free throws in a row. One, like they were down by 1, he missed 2, then he missed another, all the other way around. Okay. He then got, instead of just getting a rebound 2 hands because you're 7 foot, just bashed it out of bounds. And that's when Chris Paul and Schroeder had to make that play.
Right.
I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Did you text him?
Did I text him? No, but every other New Zealander tried to because I was like, bro, you're killing me here. Like, don't lose it for yourself on purpose because winning has put them into 4th over the Rockets or 5th over the Rockets.
Yeah,
today was a big game for them.
It was. It's a big one.
And that's why that's my player of the week because that is amazing.
Not the James Harden
quadruple double.
Quadruple double.
No, because it's turnovers and you expect that from James Harden.
You do. Okay. Well, I've got a good fail of the week for you.
Go.
Lance Stevenson.
Well,
actually, it's not Lance Stevenson. It's the Indiana Pacers.
I put that in there because I hate them.
Yeah, I know you did.
I
claimed it as my own.
Yeah, okay. Lance,
but
why are you picking up Lance Stevenson?
You don't need to. You're trying to rebuild.
You're
trying to rebuild a team here.
It's not 2013. Like you don't need Lance Stevenson anymore. What's he going to do? Like what is he going to bring to the Indiana Pacers they don't already have, other than a bit of mongrel? Fans. Okay, you've won the last argument of the podcast. Good work.
Thank you.
There's nothing else to do in Indiana.
There's nothing else to do.
All right. Well, we are done for this week. It's been great.
It's been good.
We will see you in our next round of podcasts. Again, a big ups to Switch. This has been a great pilot for the last 9, 10, 11, 12 weeks. I'm not even sure it's been that.
Well, I think this was about episode 7 for us on this one. It's been fantastic.
It has. So a big ups to Switch. A big ups to all the sponsors of Switch and everyone else who's been doing these podcasts. It's been awesome. Yeah. And
thanks to all our guests as well.
Thank you to our guests. This isn't a goodbye. This might be a week off. Maybe not. We'll find a way to get it done. It might even be back to lounge for a week. But at the moment,
so bear with us.
We might go audio only to have to see that. But we will be back as soon as we can. And thanks everybody, and see you next time.
Cheers, guys.
Catch ya.